Hi guys, if you have seen the video about me getting this camcorder during the Black Friday event, then this will be like an ongoing journey for you. But if you're just here to check out the review for this camcorder, it's fine by me as well. Okay, I'll be talking about this camcorder that I just bought, the GZ-E10. I've read up on it, and I have to be honest here. The real reason that I bought this camcorder is because it is that cheap. Alright, it's like I bought it during Black Friday for $110, which is a complete steal. Alright, like a camcorder for $110, that is really awesome. Now, in eBay, you will probably get it for this price. So you can see it. It's $179.50. That is the cheapest I can find in eBay, and that still means it's pretty cheap for a camcorder, Okay, I'm probably going to be breaking down this video into two parts. The first part will be me talking about its specifications, and the second part will be about me making a project, a short film out of this. And after that, I will be able to really talk about how awesome or inferior it really is in actual production. So let's unbox this thing. Well, the typical, manual, warranty, basic user manual. I can really see, isn't it? Yeah, you can see it like this. So, this is good and all, but you probably would want to download the actual advanced user manual from their website, because the advanced user manual actually talks about how you should use the camcorder, the settings that you have in detail, and that it's AI feature have the ability to auto detect 9 individual scenes and automatically adapt to it. Well, I will put that to the test once I make the second episode of TWH with it. No, THW with it. Oh my god, I mix it up. Okay. Now, here's the package. And let's see. This is the power supply. I'm gonna have to use it with an adapter when I'm back in Singapore. This pink thing is the battery pack. Now, there are 3 batteries that could be used for this camcorder, and naturally they supply the cheapest. The battery that comes along with this camcorder could only last 40 minutes, right? So if you use this battery, you're gonna have to go out, know exactly what you're shooting, and I just hope that you manage to catch it all in time, right? There are 2 other battery types. The next more expensive one will last 115 minutes, and the next one will last 155 minutes. I tried to go to eBay to look for those batteries, but couldn't find it, so I might have to go to the official website to get it if I intend to buy more battery packs for this camcorder. But the good thing about, the way I do my stuff is I always make sure that I get my shot in storyboard. I mean, when I'm doing like, THW. So I probably won't have, like problems where I shot over 40 minutes of video. Like take 40 minutes to shoot something. Okay, this is the TV out cable where you connect the camcorder to the TV system. Alright. Okay, this cable allows you to display in, I think, 4:3 or 3:4, the squarish looking resolution. If you have to output to, high res, you're gonna have to buy a HDMI cable. Right. So I don't know who's doing that, because most of the time I just upload this to my computer. And this is the cable which you connect to the computer, from the computer to your camcorder, or from the camcorder to your computer, to transfer data. Or you could just, the camcorder stores data by SD card, so you could just take the SD card out. Depends on what you like. And this is the actual camcorder. Take this thing out. Alright, let me adjust the exposure of this camera to show this more accurately. This is the camcorder. Don't worry about the label. I'll tell you about what it can do soon enough. So just observe the form. This is how it looks. Okay, now that you have decided whether it's pretty or not, let me tell you what it does. This is the lens, and okay, let me show you something. Where's the battery? Okay. Okay. Snap the battery in here. Okay. When you first got the battery, when you first bought this thing, you have to pre-charge this thing, alright? I've already charged this thing, so it will work when I open this thing here. Now understand, when you first bought this thing, it won't work because you're gonna have to charge this thing, right? You're gonna have to charge this. Now, when you open this thing, the lens doesn't automatically open. You have to open the lens yourself, like so. Right over here. Alright? There's a close and open. You open it, close it, and you open it. Alright? So opening the LCD screen here would not automatically open the lens. You have to open the lens manually. Now on default, it is set to automatic, which means it has the ability to detect up to 9 different scenes, and it purported to be able to automatically adjust its internal settings to make sure that you get the best output in different situations. I'm gonna put that to the test when I shoot the next episode of Tragically Holographic World, THW, and we'll know in time. And when that shot is done, you will see a link somewhere here. Alright, if you don't see a link here, that means it's not done yet. Okay? This there's this WT thing is the zoom button. If you slide it towards the T, it will zoom in. If you slide it towards the W, it will zoom out. Now, the thing I realized about this camcorder is that it's oh, maybe I shouldn't say that. I've not used it in actual production before, so well, it's noisy, right? In my personal opinion, that is. I mean, could you hear the sound? I'm gonna zoom in now. And I'm gonna zoom out. Can you hear that? Can you hear that? I wonder how that would impact filming if I am to use this camcorder to get the voice instead of doing voiceovers. Okay, so, and there is one other button here. So basically there are two buttons. So, all right, the first one is the slider where you zoom in and out, and the second one switches between manual and auto. The default is auto, which means it auto magically detect up to 9 scenes and adjusts its internal settings to produce theoretically the best image or video output possible. Alright, let's check what are, hold on, if you were to press this again, it will go to manual. If you press it again, you'll go to intelligent auto, IA, but like basically it's AI. All right, so okay, let's see what are the available options for automatic auto magic settings. Now, the first thing that really hit me about this camcorder, regardless of whether you set it to intelligent mode or manual mode, is you cannot change the frame rate. This camcorder can only record at 29.97 frames per second, and it output to 1080, which is good, but 1080i. That means it is shot in interlens format. It is not shot in progressive format. If you don't know what those two means, progressive or interlens, that means it probably doesn't matter to you. But if you do, then it's kind of a bummer to me, because I like to do a lot of special effects in my videos, and the fact that it is not shot in progressive is really a bummer, because it's just better to do special effects on shots that are shot in progressive. So okay, I'm not gonna go too deep into that, because not now. Okay, those are just special effects stuff. Okay, I'm gonna remove this thing. This hanging thing is I think it's distracting. So just hold on. So let's check out the options for auto mode. All right. This play button right here, you only need basically it allows you to see what you have recorded, all right, which we can't because we didn't record anything yet. This camcorder records on SD card, and it does not comes along with an SD card. You have to buy it, all right? So I already have an SD card inside this thing, but yeah, you're gonna have to buy an SD card. I got a 32 gigabyte SD card for $17, again during Black Friday, which is a steal. Okay, now let's go to the menu. Okay, the first thing that appear here, let me see, could you see that? No, you can't. I'm gonna have to adjust the settings again. Okay, the first thing that you'll be seeing is face priority. This camcorder in auto mode is set to automatically detect face, and it will compensate everything else to make sure that the human face is shot accurately with the correct skin tone, the correct exposure, and the correct focus. So that's good. We don't really want to turn that off. Why would you ever want to turn that off in auto mode, right? But you could turn on and off this option. But let's go back. The second option that is available is the stabilizer. Once you go in, you have no stabilizer, basic stabilizer, and IAS, which is Advanced Image Stabilizer. Now, I'm not sure whether the stabilizer is optical stabilizer or it is a digital stabilizer. But if I were to... Basically, IAS is supposed to be the most stable of the lot. So if I were to shoot this thing outside, without using a tripod, I would definitely be using IAS. I'm not gonna give a shit about, the middle option. Let's go back to manual. The gain up adjusts the exposure of this video, so to allow for more light to come into the sensor. You use the gain up feature if the environment is really dark. Now, if you turn it to off, then you have to make sure that your environment is sufficiently bright enough for you to be able to capture everything in detail. By default, it is set to on, which is pretty strange. For a camcorder to set any, shutter speed so-called up feature to on means its sensor is probably not that good to begin with. I'm not sure. I will use it in production and I will let you all know. Now you have the auto slow shutter, which automatically slow down the shutter speed so that more light gets in, but the end result is the entire image will look unrealistic, as in it's like dreamlike, someone moving bum 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 bum. It doesn't capture natural movement anymore because of its slow shutter speed. Everything seems to be a blur, smudge, So a rule of thumb: stay away from... I think if it's auto, then it will automatically go to slow shutter if it needs to. But I cannot think of any situation where you want the camcorder to automatically slow down the shutter speed to the point that it will create motion blur that is completely unrealistic. Unless that is part of your... oh my god, I'm so artistic, I'm just gonna fuck up the camcorder and see what kind of fucked up image I could produce, and I'm just gonna tell people that I'm so artistic. Alright, so if you're one of those people, then go ahead. So keep it to on, stay it as on. Don't go here. Just don't go to slow shutter. Alright, just just don't be stupid. Okay, not that I'm very smart. Wind cut. It supposedly have the ability to cut down the effect of wind, so you won't hear the... you won't hear the kind of effect where you get when the wind is blowing against the mic, which you probably might be hearing from this end, because I think I'm technically speaking right into the iPhone 5 mic. So time-lapse recording, it allows you to record snap once a second, 2, 5, up to 80 seconds. So you could snap one shot every 80 seconds. Never use that feature. Probably never will. Auto record. Now this is awesome. The auto record features allows you to use this camcorder as a surveillance. How to pronounce that shit? Surveillance camera. So once you set auto record to on, you could put your camcorder anywhere, and the minute it detects motion, it will automatically start recording. And once that motion stops for about 5 minutes, it will automatically stop recording. I'm not sure whether it's 5 minutes or 5 seconds. Well, I'm gonna correct it here so you will see some text here, right? Okay. Video quality. There is many different type of quality, but I'm not gonna go through any of them. All you need to know is set your video quality to the highest, which is UXP. Basically, it is 1080 with 20 megabit 20 mbit rate. All right, it's not really ultra high quality. I don't know why I say it's ultra. All right, you could, what I would think as ultra high quality would be, like anything more than 24 mbits, but this records at about 20 mbits. No, I think 17 to 20 mbits. Yeah, I think so. So it's not really high quality, but this is the best this camcorder can give you, and I am definitely looking forward to seeing the quality. Now let's go back. But remember, always set Ultra XP, alright? If you get this camcorder, always set Ultra XP. Okay, you have 40 optical zoom, that's good. You have 80 digital zoom, and you have 200 digital zoom, maximum digital zoom. Never ever use digital zoom. All right, just forget that this whole thing ever existed. Stay away from digital zoom. If you like to zoom in, okay, optical zoom means that the lens actually physically move, and it allows you to see something clearer from the actual scene itself. Digital zoom basically take the image and enlarge it digitally. It doesn't add detail to it. It just adds noise. Keep your source image clear and crisp. Alright? Just don't ever use digital zoom. I am so long-winded. Zoom mic. Well, Zoom might supposedly have the ability to allow you to zoom into the noise that you want to hear. Like, for example, you are shooting a bridge far away, or you're shooting a car park far away, and you are in a quiet environment. Technically, if you zoom in to the car scene, you will hear the sound of the car. And when you zoom out, you won't hear the sound of the car. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this is probably a digital gimmick. All right, because your mic is not technically there. I mean, the only way to really zoom in and hear the sound is to actually run over to the car park and put your mic physically, around the car park. So I don't know, man. I think this is a gimmick. I'm not gonna even play with it, but you can go ahead and try it. I mean, really, like, how could you zoom into the sound without actually moving your mic towards that area? Maybe I'm just stupid. Probably am. Okay. Clock adjust. You have to set where you are, the typical clock settings, like you set your computer. Nothing to talk about. The display settings. Yeah, language, date, time, style, monitor brightness. Don't fuck with the monitor brightness. Just leave it to auto. Just don't touch this place. Yeah, I mean, you could if you want to. The basic settings. The demo mode is what is the demo mode? The demo mode is when you put your camcorder, when those people in Best Buy, they sell the camcorders, they connect this thing to the main power supply, and after about 3 minutes, it will automatically start showing, oh, look at this camcorder and all its feature that it's they proposed to have, and it will start basically advertising on the LCD screen itself. You can turn that on, you can turn that off. It doesn't matter, it doesn't affect the camera at all. And the demo, the advertisement will not show if you're on battery. So that's good. Operation sound, you hear the sound? Beep 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 beep. Yeah, turn it on off. Doesn't matter. Auto power off. Yeah, power saving features. Typical boring stuff. PC software update, factory reset. Factory reset just basically reset everything back to what it will be when you first got this, and then just set it back to factory setting. So this is the automatic feature. Okay, should I talk about what are the 9 scenes that it supposedly have the ability to automatically optimize itself to? The first mode, it have the ability to capture one skins perfectly. Alright, and you can see that on this icon here. There is an icon right over here. Alright, let's see if I can catch it better. If I were to show you this. This is the icon. Right, it captures one skin beautifully. And the second mode, okay, all these icons will appear right over here or here. Alright? Yeah, I don't really, sometimes I get confused why they appear, but they're somewhere, right? It's either here or here. So it allows you to capture one skin beautifully, and the second mode, it allows a bunch of people to be captured beautifully. The third mode, it allows you to capture landscape at faraway distance and with velvet colors. Right. Probably still need processing, some processing in your video editor. And once you see a candlelight, here, that means the camcorder detected low light situation and it tries to adjust the setting in such a way that there isn't too much noise. Night scene, they're about the same thing. I don't understand, oh wow, if it's so intelligent, maybe something awesome is happening behind the scene. Okay, and this star thing, sometimes where you see people shooting camcorders, shooting videos with their camcorder, and they are sitting in front of the window, and the window is just so overpowering and you can't really see them, they're all dark and stuff. Now, this camcorder purport to have the ability to fix that, so fine, this is a feature. Automatic, you don't have to do anything. I suppose how it works is it have the ability to automatically detect a human face. So it detects a human face, and then you realize that the human face brightness is severely dark compared to the rest of the environment, and assume that the person is sitting in front of the window or something like that. This is the macro mode. It allows you to, it automatically, seems to know if you zoom in too much or you still try to focus on something. It's just gonna assume that you're trying to shoot something really small and automatically adjust to it. This icon allows, this icon means the camcorder thinks that you are shooting a bunch of trees and forests. So it will automatically increase the saturation of green or something to make it look more vibrant. Sunset, it automatically detects that you're shooting a sunset scene, and it just makes everything beautiful. And I don't know how that works. And this is about the same as that I just described. If a person is standing in front of a really bright light, then it automatically adjusts itself. I guess the top one is more like when it's too bright, it tries to make sure that the colors are not fade out. And we move on to the last two auto scene detection icon. Now, when the camcorder shows this icon, it means that it detected that you are trying to shoot a human being, a face, in a low light condition, and it will automatically adjust the settings to get the optimum look. The last one is it detected that you are on maximum zoom. You're trying to focus on something really small and there's not enough lighting, so it automatically adjusts its setting again for optimum quality. Wow, I mean, seriously, if the intelligent auto feature, if the camcorder could really do all this thing auto magically, then I guess I can just completely forget about the manual function and just use this. I probably will give this a try. I mean, seriously, it can really do all this thing, and then it will really make my life easier during post-production. Now it's time to check out the manual control that are exposed to us for us to control in this camcorder. Now to switch to manual, you press the top button here. There are only two buttons here, right? So you press the top button here, the auto, twice. Now we're in manual. Now let's go to menu. Can you see it? No, you can't see it. Let me adjust the exposure. You can see it. Are we done? Let me try focus. I think it's possible now. Okay, let's go to the menu settings. Now, you notice that face priority. You notice that face priority is still available. So even with manual feature, even within the manual mode, you have the ability to still have the ability to automatically let the camcorder automatically detect face and to focus on it. So that's a good thing. But this feature, once you go to menu, you have this tab that appears. And once you go in, there are functions here that if you were to enable, will turn off the facial recognition feature. So you have to be careful here. But the whole idea of you going to menu is because for some reason the camcorder failed at recognizing the human face, which is the whole reason you go to manual. Or if you're not shooting humans, then you're shooting a scene and all the auto feature doesn't seem to work. So you don't go to the manual mode only to complain about the fact that the facial recognition feature is not working. That's the whole reason you go to manual. One of the main reasons. Okay, scene select, the first feature of the first option of the menu settings. It defaults to off. These two features are very rudimentary. These two controls automatically set all the other controls in the menu settings, I think. Once you click Night Alive, basically it initializes the slow shutter speed feature of this camcorder, which means if you record a human being moving, it will be like he looks like you are dreaming, because you see a bunch of blurs like because the low shutter speed, and that's generally not what you want. You do not want to turn on Night Alive. You do not want to do that, alright? I don't even, I mean, yeah, just don't. Again, as I said, unless you're one of those bimbos that try to, like, fuck up the camera, the camcorder, and then turn around and tell people how artistic you are. It's not artistic, you just fuck it up. Just admit it. Okay, now there is a spotlight feature, which, how do I say it? Like, for example, you are taking a shot of a person talking to you with a bunch of spotlight shooting at him or her that overwhelms the skin. And this feature, spotlight feature, theoretically have the ability to balance everything out. But again, what is the point of coming to the manual mode only to select 2 settings that will automatically adjust the settings for you again? If you want to do that, just go back to the auto mode, I think. So let's go back to the thing that really matters, alright? If you choose to go to the manual mode. Focus! Yes, focus. Now, it allows you to automatically focus, or it allows you to manually focus. That is awesome. So I'm gonna click OK, manual, and you will have these 2 settings. There's the settings right here. Can't really see it. Could you see it? Alright. And using the up and down buttons here, which you can't see because I've already adjusted exposure to compensate for the LCD screen, but I think you still see it. The up and down here, which you can control the exposure, the focus, sorry, of the camcorder. I think that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. But doesn't help if you're shooting yourself. Right. Okay, so you have the autofocus. Let's go back to menu again. You have the brightness adjust. Now the brightness adjust is set to auto. You can set it to menu as well, and you could adjust how much light get into the camera. Basically, adjusting the shutter speed. But here's the thing. When I first saw this feature, I was like, that is really cool, because it's very important to me to be able to do something like that. But then, like, for example, you set it to for example, I set it to really bright, right? I set it to really bright until it's like overblown. And when I point it at a source that is like really unbelievably bright, you can't see it here, but I'm pointing at the window, it automatically readjusts the exposure again. So that kind of defeats the purpose of this thing. So I don't know why it does that. I mean, if I do this, the whole reason is because I want to adjust how much light get into this thing. But if this camcorder start automatically adjusting the exposure, the shutter speed again, if there's too much light shining into the camcorder, even after I have decided that I should set the shutter speed to manual, then it almost seems to me that this brightness control, this shutter speed control is arbitrary. Like, it may work, it may not work. It will work if there is no sudden lighting, there's no sudden source of light. There is no new source of light that within your scene that give off this sudden bright light, or your scene don't suddenly turn really dark, or else the auto feature was, I don't know why it start kicking in, and you might as well not have this feature. So yeah, whatever. White balance. White balance is very important. Now, really crappy camcorders only allow you to choose a bunch of preset white balance. White balance, what does it mean? Sometimes you see some videos and the human human skin doesn't look like human skin because the camera automatically detect the environment and assume that like this is the right color for the environment. But what might happen is that environment might be too blue, too green, too something, and when the camera try to compensate for it, it also compensated for the human skin, which may or may not look correct. Always try to get cameras or camcorders, no matter how cheap they are, that have the manual white balance feature. Now this camcorder does. So I can take a piece of white paper and I can shine at it and press and hold OK. And I have the correct white balance. Everything will look correct. The skin tone will look correct in the camcorder. I mean, it doesn't look correct here because yeah, the whole camera thing, two camera and the screen thing. Wow, it's almost like the LCD is transparent. Okay, so let's see what else we have. White balance, backlight compensation. Now, this feature purport to have the ability to make you capture low light situations without too much noise. When you capture light that when you try to capture something in an environment that doesn't have enough light, you see a bunch of grains and noise running around. This feature purport to eliminate or reduce that problem. I tried it. Doesn't really work for me. I don't know why. Maybe I use it the wrong way, but as of now, I'm staying away from it. I don't see what it's doing. I don't know what it's doing. I'm just not gonna fuck around with it. I'm just gonna leave it off. Leave it off. And the tele macro feature allows you to zoom in to really small stuff. So you can zoom in. I don't know. Supposedly you have the ability to zoom in and being able to focus on really small stuff. Yeah, but based on the fact that I've adjusted the focus to auto just now, to manual, it should not be able to do that. So there should theoretically be a conflict of function, isn't it? So I'm just going to set the focus to auto again. And now it can focus. It can focus on really small stuff. Yeah, you can see the grain in the table. Yes. So that's about it for this camcorder. These are all very technical, very dry, but I always make it a point to know every single function of this camcorder before I even start using it. So yeah, that's all. Before I close this camcorder, I always make it a point to go back to basic settings. I always suggest that as well. If you were to buy this camcorder, make sure that before you use this camcorder or before you close or stop using this camcorder, always go back to basic setting and factory reset. No, factory preset. Do you want the setting reset to the settings? Do you want the settings to reset to the factory preset? Yes, thank you very much. So it's reset back to auto, and I always go back to manual again and set the video quality to ultra. Since recorded in this mode are in high definition format and cannot be backed up on DVD, it's okay, I'm copying to the PC anyway. So that's it for the camcorder. We're gonna readjust everything again. get the focus on here and get the exposure right. So alright, this is the camcorder, the GZ-E10. Turn it off. Why would I suggest that you buy it? Primarily because of the price. It's really cheap. It is so cheap. I bought it at $110 as stated, but it's $179. Yeah, it's $179 eBay, and yeah, that's pretty cool. So let me summarize again. Advantage: very cheap, and seemingly very good auto detection features, auto scene detection features. I will put that to the test soon, and the next episode of Tragically Holographic World (THW) will be filmed using this camera. The disadvantage: this camera only record and 29.97 frames per second. You cannot change the frame rate at which this camcorder records. There is no high-speed features, and it records in interlens format, not progressive, not good for special effects. Can still be done. I'll be putting, I always put special effects in THW shows. It's gonna take some work to convert it from interlens to progressive frames without losing too much quality, which I know it will, for better or worse. But it's a really cheap camcorder, and the reason I'm using a camcorder and not using the amazing iPhone 5 video quality that you are seeing right now is because of this feature. I could rotate the camcorder and see myself. That is so awesome. Yeah, because I love myself so much, I want to kill myself. So that's it.